everybody, and welcome back to the world of inspiration. I'm truly Chris. And we haven't made a video in quite a while because we've been very, very busy. I've been actually rebuilding my new home. And so what you're looking at here is a small portion of the fruits of my labor. So speaking of the fruits of labor, I wanted to get into a very, very touchy topic. This is something that I feel is misunderstood by a good population of people. And I want to talk about what actually creates results, how you can get the best results out of yourself, and what we can do to make you a champion. Okay, so this is where I'm going to break this down. Okay, everybody knows what talent is, right? So this is what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to make a talent side here, right? This is talent. Okay, please excuse my handwriting. Okay, and then we're going to make a skill side, right? Now, okay, these are the two major components that make up a champion, right? Now, everybody knows somebody who's very talented, right? But we also know people that are very skilled. Now, if anybody's ever watched sports and is a very decent sports fan or a very devout fan, they know a lot about talent versus skill, right? And somebody who is skilled can beat out somebody who's talented, and it happens like clockwork all the time. Now, that's not to say that somebody who's talented cannot win. But somebody who's skilled has a much better chance. And we see it happen all the time, that somebody who's talented loses out to somebody who's a lot more skilled. Now, let's look at a couple of the differences here, okay? A talent is something you are born with, okay? So, if you're born with a talent, this is something that's already inside of you. It's something you do that's just about better than anybody else who ever tries to do it. Okay? It's a gift. It really is. It's something that each and every person has inside of them. For example, I'm going to use a boxer, for example, Mike Tyson, right? Everybody knows that Mike Tyson was a knockout puncher. He was very, very talented. Even at a young age, he could knock almost anybody out effortlessly, right? So he was born with a talent. There was something in him that just made him and gave him an advantage over other people. Now, skill. Okay, the beauty of a skill is it's something that you develop. Okay, so out of the people who develop skills, right, there is somebody right now who can develop a skill that can be better than somebody with a born talent. It happens all the time. For example, Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas actually beat Mike Tyson, right? Now we all know the story of how that happened, right? Mike Tyson underestimated his opponent. He thought because he was so talented that he really didn't have to train all that hard and he was just going to be able to beat Buster Douglas. Because who was Buster Douglas, right? He was a no-name fighter that didn't mean anything to anyone, right? But Buster Douglas was willing to train, right? He was willing to put in an amount of work unlike what anybody else was willing to put in because it meant something to him. So, going back to Mike Tyson and the talent, right? When you're talented, it requires no work, right? Okay, so when you're talented, it doesn't require any work at all. Like I said, this is just something you're born with. It's something you're given. It's a gift. It's something you can do. You just have it. You're already great. At least in your head you are, you know, and most of the time your ability to show it is going to show and outshine anybody else who tries to do it right from the beginning. So on the surface, it's going to look really, really good. So talent is a beautiful thing to have, and we all do have it, right? Now the difference between somebody who's talented and somebody who's skilled is that somebody who's skilled is going to work very, very hard at it. Right? They're going to work incredibly hard. They're going to outwork somebody who's got talent any day of the week. They're going to give it their best. They're going to give it their all. They're going to put it in everything they got. Now, the people who are willing to put in that kind of work, they're usually going to develop this kind of skill that's just going to outshine somebody who's talented. You see it happen in everyday sports. Buster Douglas did it to Mike Tyson. He outshined him in that first fight. Right? He worked hard. He worked way harder than Mike Tyson did. He did not underestimate his opponent. He worked incredibly hard for his skill to outshine somebody else's talent. So, in conclusion, what we have here is that talent is something that comes very, very easy. right? Whereas the developed skill and the hard work as somebody who is skilled is a direct result of their effort. Right? It's a direct result of their effort. Okay? So this is the difference between somebody who's talented and somebody who's got skill. Right? Somebody who's talented is born with it. It doesn't require any work and it just comes easily. It's so natural. And it looks great on paper. Right? Even in for show. You know, it's very flashy, very pizzazz, and it draws people in. It makes people want to look. Makes people want to watch. But it doesn't always win. It doesn't make a true champion. Right? But somebody who's skilled is somebody who has developed this innate ability to be better than somebody who's talented. Somebody who worked harder than anybody else that can really put in absolutely every bit of energy that they got. And as a direct result of all of the effort that they put. That incredible skill will help you to beat someone who's talented every single time. Now, you know what makes a real champion? Somebody who's got both. Because you find people all the time who have both. To be a champ, you gotta have all of it. Every last bit. Right? This is what makes true champions. A true champion is somebody that leaves a legacy. There's somebody that everybody's going to want to remember. Everybody's going to remember them. When you hear names like Babe Ruth, when you hear names like Muhammad Ali, when you hear all of these greats who stepped in and did what others weren't able to do, it's not only because they showed off their talent, it's because they developed the skill and put forth work effort into making sure that everybody remembered that they were the best and the number one at what they did. Are you doing that with your life today? Are you looking within yourself to find what your gift is? Are you developing a skill each and every single day to show off what is your God-given talent? What makes you you? What is the best thing about you? And how hard are you working towards showing that to the world? If you do that, you will be a champion of champions and people will remember you forever. I think you're worth it. Do you? If you like what you hear today, please give us a like on the bottom of the page, or we could use the subscribers and support. And thank you everybody for watching. Welcome back to the World of Inspiration.